All right, so we're in module 2 of finding properties. In the first module about finding properties, we talked high level, creating title lists, farms, painted farms, using realist, why it's important to filter down, and get rid of a lot of the stuff, but not get so exact. We don't want you guys to get in analysis paralysis and try to find this perfect list before you ever go talk to anybody. Get a filtered list and go get into action. So we're going to start talking more now about how we do that. Some of the ones that we really like to use, and then our process for trying to contact people. And again, if you don't like what we do, you don't have to do what we do. We want to at least give you a method that has worked really well for us. But if there's stuff that you're just like, I'll never do that, I'll never do that, then don't do that. Don't fight nature, but do more of the stuff that you're inspired to do, that you're excited about doing. If you're never, ever going to knock a door, I would be like, maybe we need a little therapy about that because it's so effective. But if you're just not, that doesn't mean don't do anything. Spend more time on the phone. Get the contacts, but find the list first. So our preferred kind of extra sources of finding deals, how we like to do stuff. Again, we start from a title list in a geographic area. Last slide's example, zip code 98116. Then we get that list and we start driving it. That's kind of our first step. There's a ton of benefits to being out driving those properties and seeing what it is. Then you actually lay your eyes on them. When you call them, you then know for sure this is a fixer property that I want to target, or it's potentially a listing, or it's a referral, or it's nothing. I don't even want to waste my time anymore. While we're driving, you can bird dog. We call bird dogging just finding the opportunities that show up that are not on your list. As you're driving down the street going to one house, you see the spot next door that's overgrown, that's boarded up, that's got all that. That's a great property. Bird dog that property. See it, get the address, go knock on the door, add them to your list in your CRM and follow up with them. There is a lot of deals are found through that, which you don't see bird dogs when you're at your desk sitting on the phone. That's why we like to get out and drive everything. We understand the neighborhood better. We could do hours just on the benefits of bird dogging.
And the thing too, you guys, is the title company ain't going to be 100% accurate. So if you got a decent list, as you are out driving to those property on the list, right? The property you might see might not be a fixer, but on your way to those property, you might find a fixer for some reason never got on the list. That's the reason why you want to be mindful as you're out driving around.
Yep. The tax assessor's not always fully updated. The tax assessor's not always right. Sometimes I had a house in West Seattle that I got on a list, drove it 1 week, really liked it, went back the next week, and a house a couple of houses down and it just burnt down. Like, now that's a list. Now that's a target property, but it's not on anybody's list. So don't get frustrated or be like, oh, the title company's wrong or this, that. It's designed, again, to take it from all the properties to some of the properties, drive them. Now you've really got the properties. Talk to them. Now you've really got the properties. But you're working these through a funnel. Don't get frustrated. Just understand that I'm getting to the goal, but I got to work my way through it. A subgroup that we really like to target is code violations. These are properties that the city has tagged as like needing junk cars cleaned up or unsafe or abandoned or things like that. That can be a good list to filter through. Probate properties can be a great list. They're highly sensitive. So I would caution you before you just jump into that. How are you messaging? Because a probate property is a property from someone who's just passed on. So their family is often in a lot of emotional turmoil. They often need the cash and we can be of great service to them. But what we don't ever want to do, and like, I hope that I never hear about any of you guys doing this, but we're not predators. We're trying to help people solve their problems, be consultative in our process, bring empathy and understanding to all of these situations. Probates can be a great opportunity for that.
And it gives you guys a reason to actually build rapport with probate attorneys.
Yep. Probate attorneys can be a great source for that. Again, leveraging up that tool. Social referrals, just doing stuff on social media. And we're going to talk about a social media challenge in a minute, but just that can be a great way to go. A painted farm for underlying lots. You can also kind of try to search legal descriptions to see if there's 2 lots on one property. That can be another way to try to refine this in a little bit more. Then I put in here, because so many people talk about it, we don't actually do it. So disclosure there, we do not target pre-foreclosure or foreclosure properties in our markets, but a lot of people want to do it. the supply is way down on pre-foreclosures, which is great news for homeowners. I have in the past worked a lot of pre-foreclosures, and it's an incredibly difficult time for people. So I'm glad they're not suffering that way. But also be aware of the laws in your area. There are protected classes in real estate. Often senior citizens are a protected class, so you want to be careful about that. And in Washington, there's something called the distressed homeowner law. You want to understand what that is, what your responsibility is. Are you in violation of the distressed homeowner law? It can have triple damages, criminal charges. There's a lot to be aware of there. So it is a niche that people target, but understand what your risk is in that. And again, what's your intention behind it? There's plenty of money from value add. We don't need to be predators. We're not stealing equity. We're not doing any of that. We are adding value to real estate and helping homeowners solve problems.
If you are new as a real estate agent, or you are new at a wholesaler and new at this stuff, I would recommend you just pick one source and go and start finding contact and number for that one source and work that. This is overwhelming when we share with you many, many ways how to go find it. But, just start with one, you guys, and then just go find a list of 500 to 2,000 and start cold calling them, door knocking them, right? And work with that one list. Don't try to do so many lists at one time.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great. Thank you for pointing that out. Because really, if you got a list in a zip code of 500 properties, and then you drove that and found some bird dogs, you're probably going to find 50 to 100 more bird dogs. Now you got 600 properties. By the time you drive all those, leave a card, go home, research the phone numbers, make a couple phone calls, set a couple letters, that's a lot of work just in 500. So, and that will get you great confidence, and you'll do a lot of learning, and you'll better understand what are the aspects or the areas that I want to go into afterwards. Don't feel like you got to be in 7 states and need 100,000 leads to do this. We're also, I'll throw out there, we're not teaching you to build a big direct mail business. If you want to do, 10,000, 12,000 a month direct mail business, that's a very different animal that we're not going deep in. We like hyper local market experts, understanding what's really going on, and have done hundreds and hundreds of deals and created millions in revenue and profits and assignment fees from that model. So there's plenty of business just in your backyard. Going back to this, these opportunities are everywhere. Keep in mind, most people aren't looking for them. You probably weren't looking for them a few weeks ago. You're driving by them all the time. We just did a live event I ran in last week, and I ran into one of the guys yesterday, and he's like, man, you were so right when you said that I was driving by these things. I noticed that there's a townhouse going in a block and a half from me that I'd swear I never saw before. And it's framed. Like, there was a house there. It got knocked down. They're building new townhouses, but he never saw it before because he wasn't looking for it. As soon as he started looking for it, he saw it. Most people aren't looking. Most people don't pay attention when they show up. They're either like, oh, this is a rental property, or oh, this is new construction, or oh, this is a rehab, or oh, this is a listing. But they don't look across all the different things that it can be. And that's part of what we're teaching you, because most people don't know what to do with them when they show up. And Thatch, talk to them about the car story, because this is such a powerful analogy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, think about this, guys. I mean, everything is exposure. Before you even watch this, you guys probably have drove by hundreds of houses that are, tall grass, blue tarp, you know what I mean? Tear down. You just wasn't focused on it. No one brought it to your attention. If you're selling real estate, all you see is houses and houses. They all look the same to you. So this is why the car analogy is so powerful. You think about this. We all been there, where when you decided you're going to go buy a red Mercedes, and you say to yourself, in the next 6 months, my goal is to buy myself a red Mercedes. Let's call it E-Class Mercedes. The moment you truly decide you're going to buy it, and you put the fork down right into the ground, and you say 6 months from now, that's my goal. All of a sudden, the next day, the next hour, you declare it. Why is it that you start to see red Mercedes everywhere you drive, especially E-Class Mercedes? It's because now you have put the fork in the ground and you have declared you want to buy an E-Class Mercedes. The moment you put the fork in the ground, you say, I want to find a fixer. I want to find a house, a big lot. I want to find townhouse site. I want to find development opportunity. The moment you put the fork down, folks, you will see it, because now you have declared what you want.
That's absolutely right, man. It's the opportunities are everywhere. And when you start figuring out what those opportunities look like in your area, you will see them everywhere. When we go to California to do a presentation, like I'm always looking around. I can't believe how many houses I see with blue tarps on the roof in California. Like it doesn't even rain in California, but there's blue tarps all over the place. There's tweaker blinds everywhere. There's the boarded up houses, 5 cars in the front yard. These houses are all over the place, but you got to be looking for them, and then you'll really start seeing them. So another way to level up in finding these properties, and again, like leverage the resources that you have, create more opportunities for other people. We call these the Ninja Jedi Pirate methods, right? When you're at that level, now you're really starting to take advantage of things and create amazing opportunities for yourself. There's guys out and people in neighborhoods all the time that are seeing these opportunities that they don't know it, they don't understand it, and they don't know what to do with it. Mailmen are out. They know what houses haven't had their mail checked in months, whose mailbox is full, what's abandoned, who just moved out. Who they can give you great information if you can build relationships with them. How about all the yard service guys? And most of you agents probably have a landscape company or a yard service company that you already got a relationship with, but they're out driving every neighborhood in the city every week. Hey, when you guys see houses like this, let me know. Maybe you can buy them a cup of coffee or do something for them. Dog walkers, same thing. They're out walking neighborhoods all the time. Pizza guys are delivering all over the place. They see houses all the time, and they might see rental houses that should really be sold and turned over. Uber and Lyft drivers, assuming they're not already real estate agents, they're out seeing properties all the time, driving around. They would love to have extra opportunities to make some more money through work that they're already doing. Hey, when you see a vacant house, when you see a place that's boarded up, the roof's all tarped up, shoot me the address. Newspaper people, they're amazing sources for this. Again, they're walking neighborhoods all the time. They see the transformation. They know neighbors. Anybody who's selling stuff door to door. There's roofing companies that go door to door, window guys, tree services, Comcast cable, Dish. All those guys have service guys going door to door trying to sell subscriptions or get people information. That's all something that you can leverage with no conflict to what they're already doing. And I'm sure that you guys in your unique areas with your unique markets have other sub industries that you could be like, oh man, I should tap these guys. I bet they could find me some deals. This is another way to create like an army of people finding bird dog properties for you.
Yeah, my friend Mario Hawkins, who used to live in Seattle, was a mailman, right? He used to do this, He used to be out in the street when he's out delivering mail, and he used to always see all the houses, the tire, he knew all the owners of it. And that's how he bought all those property. And, when the one he didn't buy, he always tell me, hey, man, go after this property. And back then, I didn't know. I used to go after the listing. But today, if it's a fixer, right, I'm either buying it or I'm selling it to an investor.
Yep. So hopefully you guys are starting to see more how many opportunities are out there, how to see them, how to spot them and move them forward. And then again, continuing to leverage, use your title reps. You can use your lender partners. Use the guys that are working in your neighborhood, your family, friends. Who do you know that's working in these spaces? Who in your sphere is in these spaces that you can try to have start sending you semi-pre-qualified leads? This house looks like it meets your criteria. You should contact them. Again, make yourself more efficient. Talk to them about the stuff that you're inspired to go after, and then have leads start coming into you. It can be that easy. And we're going to talk about a challenge in the next module that a lot of our clients have had great success with and that we want you guys to try. But for now, we're going to wrap up this module here. Anything you want to say in closing out this segment, Thatch?
No, again, guys, don't get overwhelmed. Just pick one category. Go get your 500 to 2,000. Just think about it. Even 500 lead a fixer-upper. If you never have to go never have to go find any more than 500, if you work that 500 over and over and over and over, and you got 50% of them to sell in the next 5 years, you be half rich off those 250 people.
That's the opportunities are there, and that's great. Our belief and our experience is pick something and go deep. Don't go wide. Don't try to do everything half-ass. Do one thing full-ass, okay? That's a much more effective way to do it. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next module.